We're teacher friends.
Hi, it's Heather here.
And Lydia, your teacher friends, and this time with a weather-related tech lesson, which is relevant to all of us, who is not relying on weather information from televisions or from phones to plan our day-to-day lives. But then it begets the question, what equipment are we using? Where are we getting the data from? So these are some of the equipment you might be considering for your lesson.
All right, so we're going to have a go. We're going to look at the information that's provided by the Bureau of Meteorology, and we're going to have a go at getting the kids to check some of that information and do their own monitoring. Because all of the information that we have when we look at their website is coming from their weather stations where they've used equipment a little bit like this. And it's all sent there so that we can use it. If we talk through a couple of the things on the page, Lydia,
Sure.
and you can show us some of the equipment.
Sure.
So starting off with, I can see where we are. We're in Wanturna, and it's 14 degrees degrees Celsius. So we know we can measure that
So
easily.
I believe we'd be using a thermometer
We could
to
go
get
out
this data.
and we could go out and check that.
Certainly.
And we could see if the temperatures match up to what it says.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've also got on here, we've got information about the rain. Now, it says here that we might get 0 to 2 millimeters of rain today.
So the weather people might have more sophisticated versions of this, but this is a simple rain gauge that people have in their gardens just to measure how much rain has been collected.
Yep, and we measure that in millimeters. We also have got information about the wind. So I can see currently we've got a north-northeasterly wind, 19 kilometers per hour. I could, if you're lucky, you might have a digital anemometer. That's the device that we use for measuring wind speed. If you're not though, you might use the instructions in the notes we've given you to make a ping pong anemometer, which can totally measure the wind.
Oh, I like this.
It's great. It actually works because we know the size of ping pong balls and the length of the string, and we know how they move when the wind moves them. So we can measure out that wind as well. That's great. We've also got on here, if I just scroll us down, and we'll go back to talking about rain in a second, it's on my mind. I can see the forecast for the week.
Right.
So I could, at the start of the week, write that down. I can see we've got information about the minimum and the maximum temperatures and some information about the clouds and about what sort of rain we're expecting. There's a lot of
Right.
showers coming up in the next week, Lydia.
Not good laundry weather, no.
No, baby, dry it inside for this week. So we've got our information there, and we could go and we could try and validate that information. So how I could do the cloud cover, I could just go outside
Right.
and look up and have an estimate of, is it mostly cloudy? Is it less cloudy? With the older kids, maybe I'd like to ask them for a percentage cloud cover.
I think that's a great idea.
We
to
could take a
quantify
photo of it
Yes.
with our devices, or we could do a quick sketch. And you can see here we might end up with something like this, where we've written down the predicted forecast and then been out and measuring and see if it matches up
Is
or not.
that what you've been busy with the whole of last week?
I love the weather. I love the weather. But my favourite thing to look at is the rainfall radar. And I can see right now, we can see lots
Wow.
of rain coming.
Coming in our direction.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I hope you didn't put your washing out this morning.
I did, because I'm optimistic.
Now, with your students, you might like to do a monitoring activity where you do it for a whole week, like I did, or you might like to do it once a month, or you might like to do it for even longer. You can decide depending on the time you've got to devote to this activity.
So we hope that with this, with all this equipment that's available to be showing to the kids, they're just a bit more aware of the technology that it takes for them to get the information as readily and easily as we all are.
We hope that you have fun with the weather.
And we're heading outside to find out how much rain is going to be falling down on us.